Let me tell you a story. Once upon a time there was a child who went to his grandfather's house during summer vacation. He loved spending time with his grandfather and listening to his old stories. One day he said to his grandfather, "Grandpa, I want to be successful when I grow up. Can you teach me how to achieve that?" The grandfather smiled and said, "Sure." He then took his grandson to the bamboo forest behind the mountain and picked 2 bamboo shoots. He planted one in the courtyard and the other on the hillside. The grandfather asked the child, "Which bamboo do you think will grow better in the future?" The child thought for a moment and said, "Definitely the one in the courtyard. It's protected by the walls, so it won't be exposed to wind or rain, and no wild animals can get to it. The one on the hillside is in danger. It has to endure wind, rain, and wild animals." The grandfather patted the child's head and said, "Let's wait and see." Later the child went home with his parents. A few years later the child returned to visit his grandfather. As soon as they met, he said, "Grandpa, last time you didn't tell me how to succeed. This time you have to teach me properly." The grandfather smiled and said, "Sure, but let's go take a look at those 2 bamboos first." When they arrived at the courtyard, they saw that the bamboo there was tall and straight, but its leaves were sparse and didn't look very lively. Then they went to the hillside and saw that the bamboo there had grown much taller, with dense green leaves that rustled loudly in the wind, full of vitality. The grandfather asked the child, "Which bamboo do you think has grown better?" The child replied, "The one on the hillside is better." "But Grandpa, how is it so strong, even though it's exposed to wind and sun every day?" The grandfather said, "Child, the bamboo on the hillside has become so strong precisely because it faces wind and rain every day. Its roots grow deep and its leaves are sturdy. The wind and rain didn't knock it down. Instead, they made it grow even stronger. As for the bamboo in the courtyard, even though it didn't have to worry about anything, it never went through any challenges, so it didn't grow as well." The grandfather continued, "People are just like this bamboo. If you always stay in a comfortable place and avoid difficulties, you'll never grow. Only by bravely facing challenges and tempering yourself through hardships can you become stronger. Those difficulties are the steps that help you grow. As long as you dare to strive and take things step by step, there's nothing you can't achieve." The child listened carefully and nodded vigorously, his eyes shining brightly. He looked at the tall, sturdy bamboo on the hillside and secretly made up his mind. No matter what difficulties he would face in the future, he would be like this bamboo, strong, resilient, and moving forward courageously.